Albert Bandura once said, "In order to succeed, people need a sense of self-efficacy, strung together with resilience to meet the inevitable obstacles and inequities of life." According to Albert Bandura, self-efficacy is the belief in one's capabilities to organize and execute the courses of action required to manage prospective situations. Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behavior. Albert Bandura believes that an individual's self-efficacy plays a major role in how goals, tasks, and challenges are approached. I actually found a lot of my inspiration this semester by focusing on how to effectively motivate my future students. I believe that the encouragement and the skills that we can provide our students to be self-motivated is one of the most important tools that we will provide for them that they will use for the rest of their lives. Motivation is enhanced when students perceive they are making progress in learning. In turn, as students complete more tasks and become more skillful, they will maintain a sense of self-efficacy for performing well. So how exactly do parents and teachers effectively help young learners develop the skills to become self-motivated? First of all, I really think we need to understand the characteristics surrounding motivation for these young learners. Intrinsic motivation is the motivation that is driven by internal rewards. With intrinsic motivation, a child is making their own choices, and they will achieve satisfaction from the act of choosing. Intrinsic motivation is more rewarding because children are more involved in their learning and development, and they are also more likely to retain information that they have learned. With extrinsic motivation, this is when behavior that is driven by external rewards, things such as money or grades or praise from somebody else. The reward comes from outside of the child, so it's being provided by somebody else. For extrinsically motivated individuals, the reward has to be continually given in order for the child to remain motivated enough to continue a behavior or to continue an activity that they're working with. I'm actually slowly learning the effects of extrinsic motivation through experiences with my own daughter, and I've talked with Mr. Sputchel about this through our communication online. So about a year ago is when these bad habits of mine began. This was when my daughter's baby brother was about to be born. I got into the bad habit of rewarding her or surprising her with things that I knew that she wanted when she didn't actually do anything worth rewarding. Like I said, her baby brother was about to be born, and the reasoning for me behind always surprising her with things was because I didn't want her to feel as though she were being replaced or forgotten about. So I would get her things just simply because I could. She got into the habit of always expecting something when we'd go grocery shopping at Walmart or Target. And it actually got to the point where if we didn't buy something for her, then she felt like she was doing something wrong. And this is entirely my fault. I allowed her to become that way. There was actually a point where I felt like I completely failed her in any kind of development of intrinsically motivating my child, which really is the most rewarding motivation of all. Providing excessive praise and reward is unnecessary and can actually be harmful to children's motivation and desire to learn. I learned this the hard way with my little one, and I'm just now getting to the point where the behavior is almost fully corrected. I've really just had to show her and express to her how to effectively motivate yourself, that tasks that you do and choices that you make will greatly impact the way you feel, and it will truly make you feel good inside, and that really is the best motivation of all. As parents and educators, I believe it's important to become familiar with the common indicators in student behavior that surround motivation. Persistence is one of the indicators. It's the ability to stay with the task for a reasonably long period of time. A highly motivated child will stay involved on a task for a long time. An unmotivated child will often give up really easily when he or she is not instantly successful. Children will learn persistence more when they are successful at challenging tasks. So I think as our jobs as parents and as educators, we need to be constantly providing challenging tasks for our child, because the more practice that they have with this, they'll be able to find that they feel good about themselves whenever they can effectively complete a task that's challenging for them. Choice of challenge is another indicator. So children who experience success in meeting one challenge will become motivated while welcoming another challenge. Motivated learners will choose a challenging activity that displays difficulty. Oftentimes, unmotivated children will choose something easy that will just ensure instant success. So they're just doing it because they will instantly feel success on a task that isn't actually challenging for them at all. Dependency on adults is actually a really common indicator surrounding motivation. Children with strong intrinsic motivation don't actually need any adult constantly watching and helping with activities. Children who have a lower level of motivation or are extrinsically motivated will need constant attention from adults and will have a really hard time functioning independently at all. Emotion is another indicator. So when children feel motivated, they are more likely to show a really clear and positive display of emotion. They're happy, they're engaged, they're interested, they're excited about an activity or a task. Children who do not feel motivated will appear cranky, they could be quiet, seem really bored, and they will just simply act like they're not interested or engaged in an activity at all. Once we can understand some of the characteristics of motivation as well as the common indicators surrounding motivation, we can learn and develop the skills it will take in becoming motivational educators. According to Jamie Escalante, who was termed the best teacher in America in year 1988, the key for achievement among students is motivation. And I could not agree more. This is truly what I believe. I believe that when our students are fully motivated and they believe in themselves, they are more likely to perform a task well. They're more likely to succeed. They're more likely to feel that sense of achievement and be proud of themselves. Jamie Escalante explains that the problem lies within the fact that motivating students is not a simple task. It's not a simple one-step task. Motivation strategies need to be put into place, and this depends greatly on a teacher's personality and style of teaching. Motivation is also dependent on the structure and routine of the daily classroom schedule and the environment students are surrounded by for their everyday classroom lives. There are various characteristics of teachers that are perceived as important for motivating students for learning. Many will agree that a teacher must show that they truly care about their students. I actually believe that this is an obvious characteristic that a teacher must possess, because I feel like we wouldn't be choosing this path in education or working this hard towards an education degree if we weren't prepared to completely care about each and every one of our students. Others will agree that teachers must possess a sense of humor. Students really want to see that their teachers are actually real human beings, that they're not just a teacher and that's it, that they don't have a life outside of teaching. This will really help with interacting with our students if our students can feel like we have a sense of humor. When teachers show that they have high expectations for their students, they are showing that they believe in their students and they believe that they will succeed. For a lot of students, this is motivation enough. I know for me, all through my elementary years, my middle school years, my high school years, and even up until college now, my greatest motivation was when I could feel that my teachers and my peers would believe in me, because when I can feel that they believe in me, I believe in myself. It's goes hand in hand, I think. Even though a teacher's personality and his or her disposition is important when it comes to motivating students, there is also the importance of exploring a variety of teaching strategies to go along with all the diverse learning styles we will experience. The interaction between the teacher and the students is also important. If we can't be comfortable interacting with our students, then I really don't think we can reach the point where we can effectively teach them. We need to understand that no two students are the same. Our students will learn differently. They will possess opposite thoughts and opinions. Our students won't share the same goals in life. Um, Once a teacher, I think, has accepted those differences, they've really opened a really clear pathway for effective interaction with students. Brown said, "Those who dare to teach must never cease to learn." One of the major factors that increase distance between teachers and their students is the difference of interests between the two. So we as teachers, we really need to take the initiative to learn all about what our students are interested in. If this means reading books that they're interested in, or reading magazines that they're interested in, listening to their music, these are all things that we need to do in order to take the initiative so we can effectively interact with our students and learn about our students. We're going to constantly be learning about our students. Motivation can be facilitated by the classroom atmosphere. Routine, we need to use effective routines and constant routines for the first 5 minutes of class, when we're checking homework, when we're presenting new materials, when we're giving new homework, even the last 5 minutes of class, and all the other elements that are a part of their everyday classroom life. Effective and consistent classroom discipline is also important. So when teachers truly care for their students, they will develop a consistent standard for discipline. And this leads to all positive effects of learning. I feel like when students can predict parts of their everyday life, they feel as though they're a little bit in control. For me, I always needed to know what was going to happen next. What are we doing at 2 o'clock? What are we doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Or apart from what we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I needed to, that gave me a little bit of sense of control, which was important for me. I watched a YouTube video actually that one of my classmates shared with me. The speaker was Scott Geller. He said, when one begins to feel empowered, they are self-motivated. So when our students feel empowered, they are reaching and mastering the skill of self-motivation. He says, when our students can answer yes to 3 questions, which is, can you do it? Which falls within Albert Bender and the self-efficacy theories. Do you believe that you can complete a task? This is the starting point. If they can answer yes to this, they'll ask, will it work? This falls in with the educational theories with Albert Bender and the response efficacy. Do you believe the behavior that you're working on will lead to the desired outcome? If you answer yes to this, ask, is it worth it? This is the motivational question. This is the question B.F. Skinner and the selection by consequences theories explain. Do you believe the consequences of an action or a behavior is worth it? If yes, then we are showing that we feel empowered. When we allow our students to feel competent, which is what they will feel if they can answer yes to the previous questions, then we are guiding them into becoming self-motivated individuals, which is, like I said, the most important tool that we can provide our students for their futures. When I begin to envision the world through my children's eyes, I can only envision happiness and innocence. It's amazing for me to think that every corner my children and my future students will turn around. It's a new experience that will surprise them. It's a new experience that will excite them and expand their growing minds. The only things our children need in life are a small amount of guidance with a larger amount of freedom. They need this freedom to discover the world that surrounds them. It's important to realize that the habits and attitudes that our learners develop for learning in their early years will greatly set the pace and influence the outcomes for their future learning. Thank you.